One.
Why, hello, everybody, and welcome back to F Anime Club. I'm Nick Knack. Last time I said everyone try harder instead of try harder, everyone. Please forgive me. And yes, we are back with our final thoughts and some free talk, and we'll announce what our next show is.
Who's starting?
I've been having like a 30-second long fight with my desk chair in the background.
Yeah, probably because you probably shouldn't put it over
It's
this.
because I'm waiting for a rug.
Oh,
It's gonna
okay.
be delivered this week, but
Rug? That might make it worse.
no, because I had a rug in here before. My floor is destroyed.
Okay.
Feel the wood here.
Oh, yeah, that's all scratched off.
Yeah.
Yeah, polish. We really should get off this, though.
Yeah.
And we're back. So, since no one wants to start, I'll start. When I watched the first episode, I actually wrote out because I was so conflicted on that first episode. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this. So I wrote out a full thing, like, what this show has to do to move out of a neutral to be an approved for me. And it did it.
So, I was talking with Nick Knack and Vorn before we started the call, and I was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not sure I like it. This might be neutral. I watched it so many times, but I'm thinking in the end right now, having recorded already, however long this shit's gonna be, is that I think talking about the positives of it is good for me. Like I'm feeling better about the show. But like also, if I'd talked about more of the negatives, I feel like that would have brought it down again. So I think for me, it's a little bit of a like a quicksand kind of show, like Quicksilver, like mercurial show. You know,
I mean,
like I watched it and I liked it, and then I watched it again and I didn't like it as much, and I sat on it and I didn't like it as much. But then discussing the things I did like about it kind of brought them back into my mind.
My thought is not every show has its flaws, and you're going to like some shows a lot more than others. I don't think approval necessarily means it has to be the best of genre.
Well, no, and I'm not basing my approvals on that. You know that. But at the same time, like, I was genuinely doubting how much I liked this show, like, just, like, a couple days ago when I rated it, because we keep my anime list, and I'll put the links down to those of us who keep them. That way you can, like, peek on us and be like, wow, what a weeb.
These people have terrible taste. Why does this fucker have so much fate in his anime list?
Yeah, why has this person watched all of One Piece? But I rated it like, I definitely gave it like a 6 or a 7, I think, on Mao. But I also rated it like a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago when I like kind of first watched it. And then I was feeling like really like, I didn't like this as much on my second watch through. And I think talking about it and remembering the good points made it okay again. Like, I feel like what stuck in my head a lot was the worst points, which doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, maybe I'll wait a couple months and give it another try and see if the bad points are still what sticks in my head, because I'm interested if this will stay mercurial for me. Discussing it seems to have like lifted my opinion quite a bit. But that may not stay that way. I don't know.
It's interesting.
I think it's maybe just a show for me that's really kind of on the edge.
Maybe because, like, you're so just used to the generalistic of sports anime. Like, and this is kind of pretty...
Yeah.
So a lot of what you discussed that was negative today has been, like, where it really strays from the sports anime formula.
Because and this is not Vorn's fault, but it may be in the way I heard it, is that when Vorn suggested this, he said a sports anime for you, Seki, right? And so for me, I was like, ooh, sports anime. And like maybe my expectations were like a little skewed from what the show actually is. And that caused me to like feel differently about it. But I still stand by my thought that like I wouldn't necessarily classify this as like the primary genre sports.
No, it's obviously got like more mixed into it. That's undisputable.
It's not like in Haikyuu where you can say this is a sports anime.
Yeah.
It's not like that. And so that, I mean, we'll see. I don't know if this will ever get a season 2 or anything.
It's pretty old. I got it.
I don't think so.
So probably not, which means there probably won't be much chance to like
go back and like be like,
Yeah, it's highly unlikely that I will read the manga. So.
I mean, you don't have to read every manga yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to read the manga of things I like.
All right, so let's move on to Realm. Realm?
For
Your
Just
thoughts.
Final thoughts.
just final
anything.
thoughts. I mean, it had some good points and it had some low points. Most of the low points were just sometimes the comedy fell flat for me, but other times it hit pretty good points for me. So it was really a mixed bag for me, honestly, and that's why I give this a neutral rating, because it just like it had points where I thought it was good, it had points where I thought it was bad, but neither were really offensive in either case. Like it didn't reach exceeding highs with like the comedy, but it also didn't hit miserable lows with the comedy that I didn't find enjoyable. So that's why I give it a pretty neutral rating, like 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10.
All right, and Vorn.
As I said, my rule for sports is I want to play it rather than watch it, which pretty much that's what like general sports anime is. You're pretty much just watching the sports, and I don't like that kind of concept that much. So with this, which is like mostly gags, it really makes it a bit more digestible for me, which is the reason why I like this a bit more than probably what Segment does. So yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, I'm also a weirdo who likes watching regular tennis.
Yeah, I think you're
I
just
do
like those
abs-
sports freaks.
I was gonna say, not really, because I watch Kuroko no Basket and I've watched Hajime no Ippo, and I don't really like boxing or basketball, but I do genuinely like tennis. I do actually watch the Opens and Wimbledon and everything. So, I mean, I will say I did get into watching tennis because of Friends of Tennis.
Did you or Seki, did you ever watch Kenichi, the World's Mightiest Disciple?
Yes.
Okay.
I have seen Kenichi, the World's Mightiest Disciple. I actually put it in the hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you've put
I
that in the hat
love
before and talked
Kenichi.
about.
Okay.
Kenichi is a parody on everything tournament and battle and martial arts. It is glorious.
I'll probably at least enjoy Kenichi because I did watch a little bit of it because like one of my old karate instructors had suggested it to me as a show.
Oh my god, yes.
So I decided to watch a little bit of it. I didn't get all that far in it though, but I think because at the time this was when I was still like kind of new-ish to anime, and then I forget, honestly I forget what the whole reason was for it. I honestly want to say it was like the female supporting character.
Oh yeah, I don't like her. I don't like her. No, Kenichi is like Beelzebub. I don't know if anyone will get that reference, but they're both.
I get it because I actually
Say Konosuba. It's much more.
No, but Beelzebub and Kenichi came out around the same
I know
They're closer in age.
I know Beelzebub. I read a bit of the manga when it was still like before it was even. Actually, I don't even think the Beelzebub manga is even published over here yet at all.
It is not. You absolutely have to like go find it.
Yeah,
it is not licensed in English.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I there are people who will understand that reference. I would say Konosuba, but I haven't seen all of Konosuba.
You don't need to.
And I have seen all of Kenichi and Beelzebub, so it's a little bit more of an easy comparison for me to make.
I will say though, for like a lot of newer anime fans, and
they're not going to know either Kenichi or Beelzebub, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Konosuba is probably the easier reference on that one.
I will say though, you like parodies, Beelzebub and Kenichi, real funny. They don't take themselves seriously. It's what's great about them.
I think Seki wholeheartedly recommends the manga of Beelzebub, but from what I understand, the anime is its own beast. That Seki still likes, but wouldn't recommend as much as the manga.
Yeah, the manga has some plot. The anime does not.
So I guess if you like Aoyama-kun, we can have a new segment here. If you like this, what else could you go watch?
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty interesting. Oh, you know what? If you like Aoyama-kun, I'd recommend Ace of Diamond. and there's one other new baseball anime, but there's a couple of recent baseball animes that I would say, and then maybe the Soft Tennis Club one. Those are pretty similar-ish.
I mean, I guess if you wished
Well-
how Aoyama-kun had a higher focus on the sport, I kind of think it would be more similar to Prince of Tennis then.
Yeah. It would need to be.
Yeah, so
Not-
Prince of Tennis, if you wanted a little bit more of a sports out of this.
Yeah.
Even though I don't particularly care for Prince of Tennis, but that's just me.
Yeah, but Prince of Tennis it's also, you have to be interested in tennis, you have to be okay with like a more individual sport, and you have to be okay with the fact that it is literally tournament arc after tournament arc after tournament arc after tournament arc. There is no real in-between break longer than an episode or two.
And I think if you're into this for the comedy, I think every genre has its own like big giant series where it's like just a parody, like taking a piss out of that particular
like
genre.
Gintama.
Gintama,
for
Konosuba.
Konosuba for Isekai and
Yeah, like there's a ton of gag stuff that you can find real easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's the great thing about when a show is kind of like in a median place between several different genres, is that often a lot of people try to categorize something into like solely one genre, and that's not necessarily true. There's always going to be a mix.
Yeah.
But it is often true that in the case of sports or shonen or battle, those three in particular tend to hit a little bit towards the extreme ends of their spectrum if they're trying to go for like a single demographic, because they have to. Because if you don't hit like a sports anime with like a ton of sports, it does just turn into a slice of life.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. Actually, the Chinese Prince of Tennis drama is more college life. There's a lot more college life than there is
does that
tennis.
one take place in college as opposed to middle school?
Yeah, so they switched it. It's set in college.
I might have to look into that at some point.
Yeah, the Japanese movie of it is also, I think, set in high school or college instead of middle school.
I mean, I'm sure it's just because they got the actors easier, but
Yeah, it's because the actors are older. They can't pull kids that young.
and maintain a long-running series.
Yeah. But they're both set in an older demographic, and there's a little bit more put towards the school and the slice of life aspect than there is towards the tennis. And it's because sports shows don't translate well into live action, often because the mechanics of the sports that they're playing, like the moves they do, that kind of thing, can be really hard to do in like a real life show with actors. Like it's hard to get an actor to make like an ace shot at tennis or show off some like weird whirlpool superpower where the ball rolls backwards. So a lot of any sports show that's made into a drama, I've found tends to focus more on the school life aspect or like the slice of life, which is usually neglected in the anime in favor of all the excitement of the actual sports game.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Like this would do, I think, really well as a live action.
Yeah.
I don't know, just my opinion.
Maybe.
Also, you find a lot more live action sports animes done in China than in Japan or Korea.
Live action sports animes than in Japan.
Live action sports dramas.
Yeah.
Dramas based on animes or mangas.
In China and...
In China than in Japan.
Okay, your
Like-
sentence got mangled there when you initially said it.
I got that. But yeah, it's a little bit more
I
common
feel like
to
you
find
have to
in
like
China.
use clip art here to fully explain what you're saying.
No. Just clip art in the sentence, like label adverb, predicate, subject, noun, proper verb, proper noun and verb.
If you want to know what this all means, we have no idea how Seki's editing season 2 yet.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Y'all are gonna have a ride. Watch it just be like a black screen. That's it. That's all I can do.
Well, I think we've exhausted this topic enough here. So,
Yeah.
I guess, do we want to announce the next anime here?
Yeah, so Realm Shifter got drawn next.
Yes, since last time we
were a
threw
week
out all
behind.
illusion of having any doing this.
Yeah,
We'll do it. We'll get back to that soon.
Yeah.
Not next time, but the time after that, I think.
Yeah, we've been kind of like upset by like a couple things recently in our schedule. But
Yeah.
so it was Realm's turn, and he's picked Persona 4?
Persona 3.
Persona 3. Okay.
Which is a movie. The first one we'll be
Yes.
doing besides the Christmas special.
Yeah, because movies are no longer specials. We can include them normally.
Yeah.
So we're going to be watching Persona 3 for our next episode.
Persona 3. It's specifically the first movie because
Yeah.
there are a couple movies. I believe
There's
Realm is
four
the third.
movies. There's four
Yeah.
movies in total.
We're watching the first
Yeah.
one.
So it's Persona 3 number 1.
Yeah. Realm has either righted his wrong or whoever he pissed off has now been forgotten about him because he has not been chosen until now.
Yeah, literally, Vord got chosen twice.
Well, I mean, someone wanted to fight me at work the other day, so there's that.
Oof. So this is just karma. Like,
Yeah,
this is
you'll have
how
to
I'm
spill the
getting
tea
his
after the
back.
podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's end this before we start talking about fights.
Try harder, everyone.
Talk about
Wow, Nick really wanted to hear the tea spill, don't you?